opportunity for them to prove themselves. And Runner is looking to get right into the action, already swinging in for one, but the returns are clearly in favor of FUT. A double kill on the Classic for the IGL of Mr. Fallen, and FUT are on their way to the A site, which is wide open.
So he's someone that, again, I want to highlight going into this matchup because I still remember going back to the qualifiers, Rebel Home Ground. This is probably his best map. They haven't been playing it. They didn't play it at kickoff. They didn't play it previously in the last couple of weeks. But this is a map where I feel like Mr. Fallen thrives. It's a map where if CNED wasn't playing it yet, I think we'd be losing our minds. And well, for now at least, for the side of Vitality, to try and get anything in this round is going to be difficult. The post plant on the A site. Both players looking to come from above. No utility that holds much value. You could throw out Timmy as a distraction, but you'd lose the element of surprise. Well, they're going to hear the player jump up. They're going to know that he's there, or at least have a decent idea. They're all trapped in a corner, but you still got to watch out.
Perfectly, but was just a little bit away. The Runner's reactions kept him alive for this fight later on as Ada Captain's fallen, but FUT weren't looking to take this to A. They've kept 3 players on that site. We'll look to cut off rotations with Yedege. They're very fragmented.
Yedege really needs to find something. I think having this Guardian from this position, not ideal, but nobody actually checking for it. They've still got to clear the guy at the backside though. Trex, there's only 6 seconds. If he can kill the planter, he actually wins the round, but he's unable to. They get that spike plant down and the trades are good. It's left all onto Safe. In this 1v2, both players on opposite sides of the wall. So he does have a good opportunity to actually isolate the fight, but never mind. Cracks on the KO over on the A site. But the pressure's on the other side. The flash is so good. The Sender actually comes out with 2. Completely blind. Even still, though, they're going to get the res off. Nobody actually able to deny that.
That flash was Craxus, though. That was
so good for Vitality.
Yeah, that's...
Did he blind himself completely?
Yeah, he flashed it off the wall, and then it bounced off the other wall instead of going around the corner.
Damn.
Blinded himself. See, stood there with a nade in hand.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt that had to come out of an opponent. There you go. That's a pretty good flash, though. That one was from him. And it is going to be taken down. Yedege, well, on the other side of things, Cracks with another. Leaving just 2 standing. From these positions, they've been so good, and the retakes just haven't been there. Safe now, retaking with an Odin. No surprise that didn't work.
Here.
And now they're just going to have to go for the full retake. Now, they've got a lot of ults. Lockdown available, but it does seem like FUT are very ready for that.
Yeah, the short players don't need to look anywhere else with their back being held by Yedege. It's just forward looking at this choke point as players emerge, but they actually walked into it. Walked into Sender, and he's taken 3, leaving Vitality. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you were 6-0 up and facing an eco after a round loss, well, it would tell you it's a much closer game than the scoreline says. Oh, my God. 3 kills from... Okay, we are going to need a replay of that, please. Because I'm not sure what that man has just done, but I don't think it should be allowed. That's ridiculous.
I said beginning of the map.
Shut up, Tom. Shut up. You saw this one.
Mr. Fallen's kind of good, you know?
How hard you been rubbing your head to see those visions?
He was doing that. It was short. He would push short and just pre-fire spam through on defender side. I think he's going to do that when we get onto the defense, but that's a little bit more ridiculous than... what I was expecting.
I mean, it was so quick, and it's a player on short, and then we got on...
just wide swung the last player.
Does stuff like that. Bladestorm's not gone well. Kicks at these trades. They're still pushing. They're still pushing on the back of the Hunter's Fury, but it's worked out well. Yeah. They've got the kills, and they've retreated. I was worried they'd continue to aggress, but Safe grabs that one, and he bails.
Yeah, it went all right in the end. I do think maybe the Hunter's Fury was a little bit mistimed. I think because... it's the peak of Runner in front of when the Hunter's Fury, because it seemed like that was the plan. Maybe they were just using him as a distraction, but either way, they've got the advantage in this scenario. That was the main thing. Yedege versus Safe could decide the round. I think Safe knows it, but he has support from Trex, and now it's left all onto Ada Captain. Again, this man,
30 seconds
maybe one of the happiest outside of the server, but he definitely strikes fear into the heart of many when it comes to within it. Shock darts, they've been close. He's just trying to bait them into a fight. Wrapping back round, I think they've definitely heard him. It would be a miracle to get both players from here, and Sender is going to put him out of his misery.
Far away from downtown, one could say. An opportunity with the spam landing on CNET. Yedige falling. Okay, there's a real chance for Vitality. In fact, it looks like they're pretty heavily favored. They've got an idea where Mr. Fallen is after the Hunter's Fury earlier. They're just going to be holding this for the walk back out. No way, surely, for Mr. Fallen to repeat his previous antics, and isolating these duels is impossible. Another found for Vitality, and the comeback is on. A few more. Oh, ooh. Nice for safe. Great reveal. Good follow-up, and he's out with the teleport as well. Faced mid for a second, but CNET's ire had faced the other way. Oh, nice trade back by Cracks through the smoke, but it's only one. It's still a 3v4.
Again, once the advantage has been in Vitality's favor, that's normally when these retakes start to swing back. Interestingly, CNET is still back towards the spawn. Oh, he does have his Blade Storm if he needs it.
Get out of my way.
Gonna try and get a little bit of info with this dart just over the corner. Paranoia already sent through, and we'll leave a couple of players blind. They've got to be careful of the door. Safe already picking off one through it. CNET so low on HP is left onto Cracks.
Down. You're not going to see the Nano destroyed either. Good wall bang from Sender. They knew the players were around that area thanks to the Nano being broken, and they're able to fire back with the wall bangs. Damage onto Cracks as well. Just left. 61 HP, and now they try to capitalize on the side of FUT. They have some a little bit of space. It's for Yedige to try to get value out of it. It's not good enough to just get that control and find a plant in a 5v3, Tom. We heard it in the interview earlier. This is something in these positions and these disadvantages where you have to take risks.
Yeah, the steps are going to be hard, but it seems like they're already checking for these aggressive positions. Well cleared by Kicks, and had a captain. Not the corner you want to be trying to clear. Cracks again. Normally good for 3 kills, but this would have to be the best of them. The flash through, he's already going to be pinged up a second solid dart. Manages to land the headshot onto Trex though. Definitely making things interesting. I think he's already heard the steps of them getting a little closer. Another one found for Cracks. And on 11 HP, he's got to be so careful here. Fragment to try and clear onto the spike. It's just not the shots being connected at the moment by Runner. That shorty really isn't doing it, and he's going to have to try and break that door, try and bait him into this fight. He's coming out with that operator, but I think at this point, Cracks already knows that he's won it. Not even scared of it. He'll get knifed at the end, but he won't care, because he's won himself the round in the Red Bull clutch. And as said, he is disrespectful more than most. And the captain's in a bit of an awkward position. He doesn't even get a chance to use the Paranoia. Completely surrounded here. Support not really there, at least for now. Yedige, he's completely blinded by the flash from Kicks. And in the 3 versus 5, expectations are that Vitality have this one. A couple of good trades, making things at least a little bit closer. CNET still standing and healthy, but he's now left alone. 3 players to find.
Wisely thinks there could be somebody trying to creep their way up behind, but, well, that's cleared out. He'll instead use this new position to try to catch them off guard, but more than ready for the fight. The right click tags him low, the shock dart chases him, and Kicks bullet gets there first. Unbelievable. Some of it's been so smart, especially the Breeze plays. Hello! That's a fantastic play timing for CNET, and yeah, you know, not a bad flash by Cracks. Who would have seen that coming?
Okay.
Not CNET.
Trade back though, and that actually gives them a road straight onto the A side. They won't know it as of just yet, and Mr. Fallen should be there in time. Drone actually being used up close, and I don't know if it's actually going to reach to clear out Mr. Fallen. They opt to go underneath instead. Mr. Fallen may just look to try and find one. Has a drone of his own, but ultimately they're going to have to try and peek off of this. Has managed to attack, but all of the players stuck around that generator at the moment. Mr. Fallen isolated on his own. Wasn't able to get anything done, and the Paranoia is going to leave CNET completely blind as well. The counter utility looking fantastic, but they still have to be careful. Cracks now, the last one left, and they're going to make it look quite easy in the end. And then a resurgence. They've got to be careful though. Again, the reads from FUT are nigh on spot on. They've got the whole of their team surrounding this site. Yedige, the youngster, has found a couple already, and this is looking deadly, dangerous for the side of Vitality. Not really the time you wanted to sort of have a blip on the radar, but finally Trex will find a response. But look at the HP. They're waiting for a captain. He's got the SMG, but he's actually going to lose that fight. And that gives an opportunity. Unfortunately, in the meantime, the spike has been dropped. He's going to have to run back and get this. It basically just comes down to him getting the kills at this point, because anything more And he's going to run out of time, and Krax knows it as well. He falls back, it doesn't even matter. Cena's going to get that final kill as well.
That's why Yedajay's repositioned to this spot, noticing that and allowing them to crunch in afterwards. Now the util does go down, and so too does Ana Captain. CNET on the way through the smoke, and a lightning fast reaction to keep it equal.
Puts them into a 3v3, but the third player, FUT, is desperately far away. CNET about to be pressured. They actually peek him together. Is forced to fall back. Maybe just going to wait that time a little bit. Now there is still the Hunter's Fury available for Mr. Fallen. He's going to pop it immediately. I wonder if there'll be some sort of counter. Well, never mind. Krax again. He's been so good in these sort of scenarios, and well, CNET will be there to find kicks as well. Everything else.
Yeah, they've got everything else online. That's going to be tough.
Well, Mr. Fallen even has an Odin on the A site. Is it the most orthodox place to play it?
Yeah.
No.
Perfect. Perfect position. He's spamming a smoke with the most traceable weapon in the game. Well, got more chances to hit you than you do to hit him, I suppose.
Again, they do very interesting things, but a lot of the time it seems to work, and Vitality as of right now don't seem to have a response. Stuck behind the smoke. There's currently an Odin and an Hop spamming bullets through the smoke. Oh, what do you even do at that point? You go, well, I should be able to win this fight. I should be able to work out where he is and trace it. They've actually re-smoked it themselves, but a bit deeper so they can just try and get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just what's going to happen.
Spam that if they use the lockdown, but they haven't been able to use the lockdown. And again, it's not even him this time. It's Ana Captain. TP in. I think it's just TP'd straight into the ground. Like that was not the idea. That's gone wrong, as is everything else. He's just roaming the site. Finally, he's been put down by Trex, but the pop flash is perfect again, and there's Ana Captain to close it. But it looked a little bit shaky in the middle, Mitch, but they bring it back, win 13-7.
And try to play through it, and there it is. Actually, a flash coming out of FUT. That was Krax to allow them to re-peek through. CNET trying to get the angle around the side, and as they drop down to deal with him, it's an awkward fight. But when that Trex cleans up inside of, Snakebite denies the plant for now, or denies the defuse for now at least, but the HP is so low, they have to take a fight to deny this next string of defuses, and it's just a bullet needed to take them down. Barring Mr. Fallen has full shields. It will take 2 shots, and there you go. 2 ring out, and both find their mark, but the trade is quick.
Yeah, an immediate trade. Again, in a bonus round like this, damage can be huge. And well, that one doesn't have a trade about it. CNET having to take more of a dry peek, and Yedajay can't really afford to just sort of swing in. A lot of what they're going to be playing with here revolves around his wall to get them into afterplants. Those afterplants looking very unlikely. Safe low, but another battle won, and well, they've still got this outlaw just raining true from the backlines. Now Yedajay left completely alone. Nobody even bothering to come in on the flank. I think they just want to try and group up, make sure they fight him together. And to come out of this one with a victory is going to be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, beautiful value by Runner in this round. All the kills found, 2 already, and the third not going to be achieved this time. Shot missed, and Yedajay punishes immediately. 30 seconds to get that spike planted. 11
seconds left.
And 45 HP. Some of these Vitality players, in fact, the ones close on the site, are hurting. But they've got the numbers to work with, knowing he has to plant this spike. It's a moment before the flash comes through. It's dodged, though! And a huge opportunity for Yedajay. Be able to res himself if he goes down. He might be able to punish. Oh, beautiful utility from Vitality. Now, this has forced the planter back and killed him. It has left players on the site back behind yellow. For everything that Vitality know, at this point, there's been nobody stepping close, nobody taking advantage of that space. And as the wall goes up, this is the one position that wall doesn't help you get to. They will not clear it on the way through, instead, leaving Yedajay with a world of value to be found. Only 2 picked up, leaving CNET alone. Krax is on the floor, spotting him, watching him, and seeing that diffuse. The chance for CNET to swing in and punish, but he baits him off the spike, and now time becomes the biggest issue in this clutch.
But it's actually been removed. A good use of the null command from the side of Vitality. Showstop is still available for them, and they are winning all of the fights. Little bro already on that defusal as well. Has to be denied, and it will be, but it's too little too late. Mr. Fallen now left to try and fight versus everyone over on that Vitality side, and they're even going to send out the Thrash for a second time.
With 30 seconds left, they put it down and rotate immediately. Sender's already on the way. They know this, that this is an A play. They try to bait them in.
Yeah, it might not necessarily matter. Safe, though, has done well. An immediate trade from Yenergy. Definitely been one of the better players. Kick still lurking around the back lines. Hasn't been spotted, but Krax is holding for it. And more Sender. His pit used, but nothing coming of it.
There's only 2 players there.
Well, also, it's like, I don't think FUT even paid attention. Again, we're going to see an opener go the way of FUT, starting to find those kills, and CNED having that operator definitely seems like a difference maker. Runner going down in back-to-back rounds. I'll be honest, he can be forgiven for the last one. I think he got a little bit unlucky with how they spotted him over the top. Pressure though onto Trex. He's been their best player so far, though.
Silva flash on Krax. I expect it to be burned up on the way through, and it is, but Trex still able to find value. Great follow-up. Trex and Kicks fall. That was Krax's flash that slowed them down in the fights, and it's his rifle that closes out the round. And there's been a few pieces like that for FUT where they are just trained in and ready now. Oh, I was going to say it's tough to be ready for that position, but evidently not. Yenergy was looking for that fight, clearing it with intention. Trex up top could get the element of surprise, but that flash is perfect from Krax. And, well, the trade is traded right back. Not with violence, but the resurrect. And so 5 versus 3, despite that pick, Vitality still way behind.
Again, the fight's been given a good read from the side of FUT. Now they need to try and find themselves back from a disadvantage. Surprisingly, Anna Captain not able to do too much there. And we are actually going to see Thrash committed. Oh, wow, that has not got anywhere near the amount of value that Kicks was hoping for. He is going to be able to get one on Yenergy, but the rest are slowly surrounding in on him, and there is nothing more to be had.
Right here.
The ultimate used on the other side. Trax has popped his null command to try to cancel out some of these abilities, but Viper's pit is already online, and as they try to go above it, they meet CNED's operator. Down goes Krax, down goes CNED. Okay, it's workable. Crazy aggression coming out of Mr. Fallen. The reveal as well. Oh, it's nasty. What's that shot? Jordan for more. Mr. Fallen is running riot on the site. How quick, I hate this guy with a classic. Oh, it's giving me nightmares already, and that's why he'll do this against a full buy. When you've got pistols, he does not feel fear. Oh no, the spike on the ground and a 6-1 lead for Vitality, 5-0.
Or just looking at plant denial. Walking out, he's gonna be spotted eventually, and they are just grouping up. Like how he gets a plant from here, I have no idea. A nice shot at least to take down Adacap. Knife will give things away. There's a couple there. And okay, Sender! He's managed to find a high-impact double already.
Spike planted.
Plant down, too. They can tuck in. No need to swing into these longer-range angles. B-side definitely didn't work for FUT, but it looks like they've got something special on the side of Vitality, not looking to give them 7 in a row. They'll keep that record. Flashback. Yellow challenge on the back of the flash. It's not great. It's caught CNED, and he's blinded up by the Dizzy 2. The swing easy for Trex, and now it's all on to Krax. Reveal, I think only caught 1 player. And as they turn to look at it, we see the timing of Sender sneaking through. That's out of Captain down. The defense now has a massive hole in it towards that mid angle. And pressure on for CNED. They could just push behind him, execute him. Oh, and he pushed in front of him instead, an angle he clearly wasn't expecting.
No, an uncharacteristic miss. I expected him to hit it. I know it's still a huge reaction shot, but it's CNED. And now what was around that was looking bleak for Vitality sits in an afterplant. Still got a snake fight. Still got a mosh to play with, so it's going to have to be to clear out. Close angles are gone. They're not going to fall for their own trickery. But you can see the util already starting to be expended. Kicks putting out that mosh. And they need to find something quick. Sender with his 3rd of the round. He has taken over this one.
To take right back once CNED arrives.
Oh, is it going to be mid again? Is it going to be the same problem as the last round? In a slightly different form. The timing has been completely missed by Anna Captain. No. He'd have to get very lucky. There could be so much for safe here. Already the distraction of his teammates. He's just waiting for that Viper screen to go down. as they look to get into the after plan. If he gets this timing right, he could completely ruin the round, and that is exactly what he will do.
Nade is not going to stop them from wrapping up close. The Thrash is destroyed, but so he's still alive, and he's doing damage as well. But as CNED goes into trade, he goes out of the round just afterwards. Okay, it's winnable again.
Yeah, they're not going to fall for Kitchen. That's for sure. If there's any angle that FUT are going to be checking, it's around there. Runner one away from a showstopper, a kill on either player will end this round. Or most likely at least, and there's so many angles to check. With how aggressive they already managed to get Mosh onto the spike runner and gets that kill. Nade, I don't even think he's going to need to use anything more. No necessity of that showstopper. Still comes down to the 1v1, but the time is gone. It's ticking too far, and a captain just going to have to run for the hills. And while Kicks, he's going to survive this one just about.
Poor Tom, they've kept their credits for the next round.
I don't mind it.
Okay.
We've seen them do a lot with less. They
Safe
still have
lurk hasn't worked.
Yeah, they still have a rifle as well in the hands of Captain, which has just found another. This is already starting to look pretty dangerous. Again, some of these just hyper-aggressive angles that FUT take in these sort of rounds have caused plenty of problems. The thing I worry about, though, is if this gets into an afterplant, because we've seen Vitality, they've been sublime in those positions.
I think even more so with a pit and a showstopper. Mosh pit and nade already used up. Those snake bites will be online. Getting back in here with the pistols would be tough, but they've gone running in! And now the spike's down in the open. They'll have to step into it to try and retrieve it. And CNED's just waiting for his opportunity to pick them up. Down below.
Oh, he got hit by the drone!
The drone catches the reveal. Like it's candy, but they can get value from it sometimes. Yetajay! Oh no! It looked like the timing was almost spot on.
Yeah, now they're in the same problem they've had before. Mid-control, completely given up. And you best believe Sender is not stopping. They're trying to focus in on the rest, and because of that, they're going to get flanked. We've seen this too many times already. CNED does well.
Spike planted.
He makes things very interesting indeed. This round should have been done and dusted. Track spamming.
One
2 HP.
remaining.
Such little HP, and Captain takes out Kicks. It leaves the 2 HP Trex to try and fight versus 2 members. One of them desperately low, no utility to play with, and he's not going to be finding that one.
And no flank underway. Vitality seem to have this one set up for success.
The showstopper might not be available at the moment. No command has been used. Runner gets one, but the showstopper's gone. Trades, though, are good. It's going to leave the remaining players very passive, but they are holding their ground, winning their fights. Nobody on that defusal yet. Nice work, though, from Mr. Fallen. As they're already getting flanked on, though. Again, it's that backline that causes them issues. Already, though, on that defusal, and it's going to be Trex to win both.
But the push is about to come through here, and that's an isolated fight,
Yeah,
but the
dead.
spams back do the damage.
Yeah, that was a firing squad on the other side waiting for him. CNED now wary of mid, but it's actually the main avenue of B, which is going to be under pressure. CNED has to go absolutely huge here, trying his best to dodge the flash. A crazy shot onto Kicks. That's at least something. Wingman has been sent out, but he's going to be able to deny it. 20 seconds on that clock, but already a player going for that plan. You can see the swing from Mr. Fallen. A nice initial shot, and he almost manages to line up 2. Trex desperately low. Shock dart's going to be placed in towards Runner. He's been difficult to clear from this position, but they're still wary. There might be a second player coming in from behind, yet to spot Krax's position. He still has a fair bit of utility, left completely blinded, at least for a second. They've got to get towards this Mr. Fallen again. He's looking to keep them in, and that is actually going to force him into the open. The shot connected, and he hasn't managed the other. The Runner will do it all! A ripple clutch to close it. It looked like we might go a little bit longer, but Vitality have got that second map.
For mistakes to be made, they haven't been, so now they've got to force their own mistakes, and they've done a great job at that. Sender! Another lights out round from him, right off rip here on Sunset, leaving Yetajay against the world 3.
Down to just 20 HP. Bear in mind, his opponents are still very close to death, but he's not going to clear the angle of Kicks. I believe it's already been broken, so they know there's players here. The paranoia is fantastic, but Mr. Fallen still able to hit the shot. A second flash, though, and utility forcing them forward. Cracks, though, he's done an amazing job. Splitting him from behind, has found a couple.
You can see the information was that CNED's in the corner, but he doesn't even have a reason to move. Although he does. He does move in the end, and he goes down. An opportunity now. They've isolated Captain 2 and taken him. 2 versus 2. Weapons to be retrieved, but that's tough. Much slower, running it down the last few seconds. They've eventually hunted down Yedege, but there's a few more players here to stand and fight. Mr. Fallen, 50 HP, but he stands strong. Now has ult online and will just about make it out alive. Kicks going in for the plant and has found it. So that was the little guy going in for it. Mr. Fallen tries to get a position around side, possibly to pop the ult, but instead goes down to Safe. Now the info's there. And in fact, Thrash is going to be used by FUT to try to claim some space. It's clearing out market and not seeing them at all, but they know Safe must have fallen back, so Captain fills the space. Does well to land that shot, and now the defuse begins. It's not on the normal angle, but somehow Sender has just attracted the crosshair to the head of his opponent, and another found, leaving it into the 1v1. As CNED fires back, Kicks is left alone. It's almost half, but not quite. Just about pulled off the spike at the wrong time, and now CNED has to go running. Traps, I suppose I should call them, not trips. Yedege's got none of those to work with. He's been dropped, and so too is Captain. Mr. Fallen doing just that, and it's a 2 versus 5. Blink, and you'll wonder why the hell there's a clutch being offered up for FUT. Seconds ago, this was an even matchup, and now it seems like we might be looking at another save for that defense. Already stepping forward, the wall up, the post plant setup inside of main. 5 players still alive. The Thrash, very much online, not even needed.
No, it's second use already, and while Safe again is already going to be lurking through the backline in mid.
He's got support as well. Kicks is here, but, well, Kicks was here. Down and out just like that. The trade not coming through. But ultimately, in this round, there is only one rifle for FUT, and avoiding that may be the best approach. Vitality aren't too concerned about it. Walking through on the B site, walking through on mid as well, and well, they've met their maker! Yedege on the double! Sheriff in hand, the flank cleaned up, and CNED closing the round in main.
Showstopper immediately thrown in. Trex has got to feel unlucky for that one. And CNED's more than ready for the response.
Oh, they've got to be frustrated. Surely CNED goes down now. Yes, eventually, but the cost is still paid. Yedege trades it out through the smoke. Sender's been lit as well in that interaction, down to 32 HP. And FUT, they've got success lined up for them. This trap, heard. Safe knows it's around, but he's going to creep past it. Cam spots him, tries to run away, gets caught by the stun and swung by Captain. There's your idea.
Yeah.
There's your execution. It was in a 4v2, but it worked. You can't deny that.
And conceptually quite cool. It does revolve somewhat being there, which I do feel like somewhat defeats the purpose a little bit, but...
Hey, you got another Sentinel. Don't worry about it.
Nonetheless, this round looking a lot better. Mr. Fallen even going to close it.
He's spraying through, doing damage, even popping his showstopper here. The guy is crazy, and he actually won't find any value on this side of the pit. But he goes looking on the other, and the rocket goes through, finds nothing but damage. A little bit. The time is running down, the sprays are landing so much value. And even Safe's gone running out of the pit because the time is so low. It's taking over, the spike is soon to explode, and CNED's trying to keep them contained, keep it costly, but that won't happen. Down and out of the round. They lose a lot. They make up for it with Sender, and well, Mr. Fallen was waiting. A clean punish, and they still have these traps to deal with on the way through. They've destroyed one. Paint Shell's doing a fantastic job to at least get them on the site.
Yeah, looking like they may even try and aggress a little bit more. In these sort of scenarios, a risk somewhat needs to be taken. We haven't seen much from the grab net thus far. Combined with a flat, Mr. Fallen is just hitting everything. It's his 3rd kill of the round already, Safe at least. Trying to put up a bit of a miracle here. Gets his 3rd, but the trade eventually.
No, that's a beautiful cocoon indeed. I don't think they're gonna break that, and if they do, Mr. Fallen's waiting to punish Runner. Down and out. And they still haven't managed to make it out this choke point with Yedege on the other side. Beautiful crossfire and beautiful execution from this FUT side.
Instead, they're gonna use that Mosh immediately. Just spam straight through. Nothing that Trex can do about that. Again, Runner's got ahead of the utility. And Yedege may be overplaying his hand a little bit. Wanted to try and get close into that corner. It's problematic for Mr. Fallen. He needs the kill and just about survives. And now he's going to go through with the shorty. Catches another. Safe down, and everyone will fall. FUT.
B main and take a lot of control, so you can see FUT are much more hesitant to clear those angles
Safe
out.
again.
And the bait setup, absolutely beautiful. One player running back and Safe swinging through to save the day. 2 quick kills, and this round is definitely in safe hands.
It's going to take ages to break this, isn't it?
Spike planted.
They can just break the one on the right and get out, but... Oh, actually, they can just walk around it. That's a little gap. Center, he's gonna get hurt. Yedege already tagged low. Mr. Fallen sat in the backlines. They've got to be wary as well of where Ada Captain is going to be coming from. Time still fairly favorable. Vitality have plenty to play with, but they lose that first duel. Mr. Fallen is trying his best. Fair amount of utility has been expended. The flash over the top will be renewed. It's well timed as well. That is perfect. A couple of assists. Yedege found some space, but Trex just running left and right.
But yeah, conclusions seem pretty apparent.
Seen it. Oh, now on the other side, and it's immediately denied. Trex again. He is just thriving in this defensive side. Yedege looking for a timing. He almost finds it, but Safe's reactions are just too fast. The remaining players stuck behind the smoke. Nothing they can do from this point onwards. And, well, this duo of Trex and Safe has been devastating. The newest signing to the Vitality roster. And, well,
Over there.
it is looking like a good one.
I do, like, look, if they can get to the A site, this could be a more difficult round than expected for Vitality. Still 2 Sonic sensors, post-plant around the spike, that can do a lot. Ult as well, wall 2, and 1 less player. And 2 less players. So now it's just Ada Captain, and I'm going to say this is going to be about as easy as you expect.
Every time they've attempted anything has been fantastic. And, well, the trades have been even better.
I know.
Okay. Yedege's done a pretty good job with just the Sheriff in hand. Information as well as they start to spot some of these players, and he'll just lurk it out on mid. Plan to come through. Sonic sensors in play, either side. One catching the walk up. I do think his left one's a little aggressive, but it could catch them as they make noise. And yeah, the wall goes up back left of the site. It's an annoyance. They only need to break 1 leg of it to get through. But it's really Yedege. How much can he do? They're not going to check it. If you go around that pillar, you're just wasting time. But here, oh no, that's not what you want to see. Because this is a Sheriff still in play for CNET ult for Mr. Fallen. If they can get this close, it could be so winnable for the squad of FUT. It could keep them alive in a round where they didn't look like they had that much of a chance.
I can only assume he's going to try and save it for the spike, but he's been caught. Been done for surely. Seen it though, lands both shots. He's given them a way into this. The time is ticking, the nade already onto it. And I think it's too far gone. He's already managed to win the round, even lands the shot at the end.
Relatively easy ones ahead of them, already in a good position in their group. Yedege though, oh, they haven't cleared the corner, and the lurk is sublime. It might not have worked out for him last round with the Sheriff, but a little cleaner with the rifle in hand.
Listening.
He always seems to just have at least 1 or 2 a game where he's just in a position the Vitality forget to check. And as said, he will do it once. They will not forget again. Yeah, he's been good in these scenarios. Oh, he's going to get the 1 and get out. It might not have been the cleanest. He doesn't even check. He walks in backwards. That is very surprising. I guess, I don't know how he didn't expect them to be that far already. Spam through, but that could be the critical kill. Nice work from Runner. Oh, another from Kicks. They've turned it back on its head again. The spams is what done the damage. This man has been waiting the entire round, sitting in mid. The steps, I don't know if Safe will have heard that. I don't think he did. He hasn't turned. Timing going to be absolutely everything here. The peak, it's a little bit disjointed, but they still don't know this man is behind. Both kills are here, and he's going to find them as well. They need to be a little bit careful here. They are being wrapped on from all angles. Seen it already in, but the duel's just going the way of FUT. And for the remaining players, a little bit further out of the action, ults to play with as well, and an operator. Unless they get a kill very quickly, I'd be surprised if they continue this push.
And how are you going to entry right now? You're going to flash on Trex. You're going to blast pack in as Runner. Look at the traps. The Sonic sensors are waiting for these players to make it towards the site. Once they take a step, once they make noise, the stone will come through. You're in a lot of danger with Yedege waiting around the corner. Somehow they've got most of them, leaving it all on Mr. Fallen. His utility is no more, not to have impact, and, well, the defuse.
Okay.
And Yedege is blocked out by the door closing. Oh! There was a gap there, almost as a bait, but Trex has found everything with it. This should be it. The flank denied means Yedege is coming around in main, and now is the last man standing. Now 1 versus 4, and the flawless streak of FUT comes to an end. Vitality find the win. Look, depends who you ask. It could have been a close matchup today, but I think most people came in with FUT as the favorites.